Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks YouTube channel. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. Hopefully you can hear Bruce as well.
I'm here.
All right. We are a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network and a partner of DraftKings. If you have not listened to our podcast yet, go check it out, the Fantasy Hockey Hacks podcast on all directories. Check out our website, fantasyhockeyhacks.com. We are the official podcast of Left Wing Lock, your number one source for fantasy hockey intelligence. Mike, I know you generally watch these things around the noon hour. If you can't hear me, send Bruce a text over there in the group chat.
You mean I have to go grab my phone?
Well, maybe not. I think we're okay, Bruce. But or Mike, let us know in the comments, and I can type back right away. All right, so FHH Live, DFS and game picks for May 11th. I guess we're going to kick it off. We'll start with what went on yesterday, Bruce. Your picks. You go ahead.
We're just going to flush last night and start over again today because last night was bad. Bad, and more bad.
Didn't go as planned.
Did not.
Bruce went 0 for 4, and I would have gone 4 for 4 if the Oilers would have removed their heads from their asses, but they did not. And so
they did for 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes.
And then they promptly just shoved them right back in there for the overtime.
Man. All right, let's start there because I'm still pretty ornery about it, and we're talking about it as it is. So basically just heartbreak. Adrian Kempe, 2 goals last night, 1 assist. Basically walked Keith last night in the overtime period.
Keith fell over.
There's a lot of Oilers falling all over the ice last night. I don't know what was going on, but
I don't know either. That was weird.
It was a sad overtime period. I don't think the Oilers really touched the puck beyond the faceoff.
I don't even know if they touched it on the faceoff.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
The Kings outshot the Oilers 30-22 at 5-on-5. They outscored the Oilers 4-1, and total shots were 43-28 for LA.
Ouch.
Yeah. Smith's worst game for sure in the playoffs here, 4.90 goals against average, an .884 save percentage, and a negative 1.17 goals saved above average, so not good from him. McDavid, 1 goal, 2 assists. Draisaitl, 2 goals, 1 assist. So our prop bet from yesterday, Bruce, we took McDavid to go 2+ points and Draisaitl to get 2+ goals, and that was at plus 400 for Draisaitl. So a pretty nice prop bet there yesterday that hit for us. And then some unfortunate news. Darnell Nurse is going to have a hearing with the Department of Player Safety for headbutting Philip Deneau.
Yeah, he's going to get his offseason started early.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kind of said, see you, boys. I'm going to take this game off. Yeah, bye.
I'm out.
So he's for sure getting a game, and that's probably going to be it for the Oilers. So
I'm thinking so. Unless they figure out a way to play more than 10 minutes a game, they're not moving on.
I don't see it.
To game 7, let alone the next series.
All right, let's talk about Tampa and Toronto. So Toronto was down in that one early, but they came back, ended up winning that one 4-3. Austin Matthews scored his 5th game winner in the playoffs. It was an ugly outing for Vasilevsky, had an .840 save percentage. The Leafs had a 55 Corsi 4 percentage, 56 scoring chance 4 percentage, and a 68% high danger chances 4 percentage. So created lots of chances. They did get outshot, but in the end, it doesn't matter. And Nylander, 3 points. Tavares, 2 points. Some good outings from those guys there who have been relatively quiet in this series to date. One thing I'll mention here, Bruce, Tampa Bay is 16-0 following a loss in the playoffs going back to 2020.
Yeah, it's I just don't know what to think about this series. It's yikes. All I can say is the most underrated player that Toronto has that never gets the credit he should get, Jason Spezza.
Jason Spezza.
He carried them through the playoffs last year, and from what the players were saying after the game last night, he's probably the reason why they won the game last night, even though he didn't register a point.
The Oilers could have used Jason Spezza yesterday.
They should have conferenced him in between the third period and the overtime. Oh, my goodness.
All right, let's move on from that series. I guess before we move on, I'll just let you know right away I'm taking Tampa in Game 6 at home, but I did predict Toronto in 7, so I think I'll stick to that, and I'll say Toronto in 7 games.
I'm not sure what I'm doing yet.
You're still not going to give the Leafs any credit. I know. I got it. Boston and Carolina. So Carolina's now got a 3-2 lead in that series. The perfection line finally faltered. 0 points last night from those guys. They did outshoot the Canes 9-4, 5-on-5 though, so they had some success on the ice. Seth Jarvis had a big game, 2 goals, 8 shots on goal, 11 shot attempts, 4 individual high danger scoring chances, 4 hits, 2 blocks, and 16 minutes time on ice. We did pick him again as well, Bruce, in our prop bets yesterday.
Very nice. I think
he was an anytime scorer for plus 200, so that's nice there.
For sure.
Trocheck 3 points. Ranta, 33 saves. This will be music to your ears, Bruce, because I know how much you like Antti-Ranta.
I love me some Ranta.
971 save percentage, 1 goal against average, 2.03 goals saved above average. In 4 appearances in the playoffs here, he's got a 1.96 GAA, a 942 save percentage.
Very nice.
That'll do, hey? That'll get you through until Anderson's ready.
I would think so. I hope so. I hope so.
And then, Bruce, St. Louis, Minnesota. We all know how much of a fan you are of the Minnesota Wild. Unfortunately, this one did not play out the way you would have liked it to.
No, I sure didn't. I'm beginning to wonder that if we might see Cam Talbot here in Game 6.
If you're going to make some changes, now's the time, right? It's now or never. Yeah. So, St. Louis up 3-2 now. They stole that game. They were down going into the third period. They scored. Tarasenko scored a natural hat trick in the third period.
Yeah.
He was the fourth player in Blues history to do that. So,
oh wow, that's awesome.
He's been incredible. The last player to do it, I think, was Jaden Schwartz in 2019.
Very nice.
Kirill Kaprizov still played great though. He had his 6th and 7th goals of the postseason.
Yeah,
10 shot attempts, 5 shots on goal, 6 scoring chances. And Jordan Binnington. Got to mention Jordan Binnington because he had a 938 save percentage and a 2.00 goals against average.
That's good for him because going into the playoffs, it's like, what's going to happen with Binnington, right? And he's put up a couple of good, solid performances here. And
yep. Yeah, if hockey's so funny. Hockey's so funny, right? Like, it's just, we thought this guy was left for dead not too long ago, and here he is stringing together some nice performances in the postseason.
Well, and we knew this series was going to be a slugfest because they're two very, very well balanced teams, and kind of hoping that Fleury would give Minnesota a bit of a edge in net, but that really hasn't come to pass here. He's been okay, but he hasn't been his outstanding normal self.
Yeah.
So whether that's just a matter of he's only had like since the trade deadline basically, as opposed to a full season like he had with the Knights, obviously. Guess we'll find out in Game 6 here who Minnesota starts, but I kind of have an inkling it's going to be Talbot.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, Bruce. We'll find out soon enough. So let's get on to previews for today, picks and DFS for May 11th. Starting with Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Rangers, plus 115 on the money line for the Pittsburgh Penguins and minus 135 on the money line for the Rangers. The Penguins have scored 4+ goals in 3 of 4 games so far in this series. It's been all Penguins 5-on-5, 54 Corsi 4, 55 shots 4. They've outshot the Rangers 172 to 140, 5-on-5 in this series.
It's a bit of a margin.
Yeah. 58 goal for percentage and 59.92 scoring chance for. The other bit of news here, Shesterkin, 4.26 goals against average and a 905 save percentage. Who saw that one coming, Bruce?
I sure didn't. Not the way after the way he played in the regular season. Playoffs.
I was going to say you didn't have Deming outperforming Shesterkin on your bingo card.
No, not a chance. Although you have to admit, Deming has had much better run support than Shesterkin has had.
Absolutely, he has. Yeah. The other bit of news from that series, Pittsburgh is currently winning the special teams battle, which going into this series, that was kind of supposed to be the bread and butter of the New York Rangers. But Pittsburgh is 33% of the power play. Rangers are 22%. Pittsburgh 78% of the penalty kill, and New York is at 66.7%. So not good, not great.
Nope.
So, excuse me, I'm actually going to take Pittsburgh on the money line, plus 115, plus money. They basically controlled this series in terms of possession, shot attempts, and shots on goal, scoring chance, all the rest of it, and they're winning the special teams battle. And So for that reason, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh tonight to close out the series. And then in our prop bets, you'll see a fun pick there as well that kind of coincides with that pick here. Bruce, same thing, plus 115 on the money line for the Penguins.
Yeah, I don't know if Shesterkin and the Rangers are going to be able to put it back together to get themselves back in this. So I'm taking Pittsburgh to finish them off tonight.
All right. Next up, Washington and Florida, plus 185 on the money line for Washington, minus 225 for the Florida Panthers. Some game notes here. So Florida, is their power play actually going to do something in this series, Bruce? They're 0 for 13 on the power play right now.
I don't know, and that's amazing that they'd go like that. That's incredible to me that they would be 0 for 13.
Given the personnel they have, there's no reason they should be 0 for 13 on the power play. They're the only team right now in the playoffs that has not scored on the power play.
No, unless they're feeling some pressure. That's so. How many of us expected Washington to be in this series, and they're well in this series.
Yeah, they're getting some good goaltending from Samsonov. They're 5 for 17 on the power play, so 29.4%, which puts them 5th among playoff teams right now. Mason Marchment's a game-time decision for Florida. Here's a fun fact for you, Bruce. Can you guess who Florida's leading point getter is right now?
No, leading point getter?
Leading point getter is currently Carter Verhaeghe with 4. Actually, he's got 5 points and 10 shots on goal.
That's surprising, actually. I would have figured it'd be Barkov or Huberdeau.
Nope, it is Carter Verhaeghe. The big boys in Florida have got to get going. So you'll see again in our DFS picks and our prop bets, we like Verhaeghe. He's been doing some really good things. He's actually leading the team in shot attempts as well, Bruce.
That's also amazing. But
yeah, I mean, he's playing with Barkov, right? So he's getting some help. He's got some good line mates to work with, but he's a great value pick right now.
And I think it's showing who the Capitals are shutting down Barkov, Huberdeau, so they need these other young guys to step up, and Verhaeghe's been doing it so far, but they need a little more help.
Absolutely. And then just quickly, Florida's still been controlling the play though, 5-on-5. So they've been outshooting Washington 102 to 77, and scoring chances are 91 to 78. So things are going to change a little bit at some point, I think. So I'm taking Florida tonight at home, minus 225 on the money line to take the series lead. Bruce, you felt the same way?
I did the same, yep.
Okay. And then there's actually only 3 series on tonight. So we got Dallas Stars at plus 180 on the money line and the Calgary Flames at minus 220. Obviously, Jake Ottinger's been the big story in this series. We know how good he's been. Can he steal another one for Dallas?
Calgary at home, I'm not sure that he's going to be able to do that tonight. I hemmed and hawed on this. It's like, is Dallas going to be able to do this? And I just, after the last game there, I'm just not 100% sure that Dallas is going to be able to do it again.
Okay, that's fair. Dallas is getting crushed 5-on-5, so that kind of works with what you're saying here, Bruce. They've got a 39.64 Corsi for 41.57 shots for percentage. They've been outshot 69 to 97, 5-on-5. They've been outscored 3-2, and then scoring chances, Calgary is leading there 92 to 69, and they've created way more high danger chances as well. So the other thing to note, both teams are 2 for 17 on the power play, under 12% for both teams on the power play.
Just shows how hard they're fighting. They're not letting anything through.
No, and both goaltenders are getting, or both teams are getting good goaltending as well.
Yeah, it's been a great series.
So for me, I'm going to go Calgary, minus 220 on the money line. I think they're probably happy to see the Oilers go down 3-2 in that series, and that's just some added motivation for Calgary to win this one and move on to the next round eventually. And you agreed as well, Bruce.
Yeah. If the Kings win, it'll be the Darryl Sutter revenge series.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
The Flames and the Kings both make it through.
Let's hope that's not the case, Bruce. Okay, so picks are unanimous today. So there you have it. My record to date, 22 for 36 at 61.11%. Bruce, after a rough outing yesterday, that brings you down to 47.22%.
Yikes.
So you have to bounce back tonight. You'll go 20 for 40. You'll be back at 50%. It'll all be good.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about some prop bets here. So player specials, this one, end it at the Garden. I'm going to take Jake Guentzel and Sidney Crosby to combine for 3+ goals. I had some notes here on these guys. So Crosby right now has got 9 points and 2 goals, 18 shots on goal in 4 games played. I think Guentzel scored in every game in this series, and the first game he had 2 goals. So I don't think 3+ goals is a crazy stretch, and at plus 700, that's something I'm willing to put a little sprinkle on.
The way that both of them have been playing here in this series, I probably would do that too.
And given the fact that their special teams are outperforming the Rangers, Shesterkin struggling in goal, It all just adds up to a nice, juicy prop bet.
Very nice.
Joe Pavelski and Roope Hintz to combine for 3+ points. I think that one's shouldn't be much of a challenge there.
No, I'm not too sure.
I like this one at plus 300, and I'll tell you why. Like, Pavelski's got 4 points and 3 goals in the last 3 games played. I didn't look at Hintz's numbers, but I mean, yeah, there hasn't been a ton of offense in this series, but that's one that I'm fairly confident in. Yeah. Plus 300. Shot props here. So Jake Guentzel over 3.5 shots on goal per game at plus money. This is free money, Bruce. He's averaging 6 shots on goal in this series.
Wow.
So definitely take a look at that one. Kris Letang over 2.5 shots at plus money. He's at 2.75 shots on goal per game in this series so far. And Sam Reinhart at over 2.5 shots on goal per game, or for this game at plus 140. He's also averaging 2 3/4 shots on goal. So those all seem like pretty safe bets to me. What do you think, Bruce?
I like the Guentzel one. I'm not too sure about the other two, but
that's fair. Okay, goal props. I just love Guentzel. It's just Guentzel all the time tonight. I'll be playing him in DFS too. Anytime goal plus 120. He's got, like I said, goal in every game in this series. Carter Verhaeghe, anytime goal at plus 250. This is great value at plus 250. Like I said earlier, he's leading the Panthers in scoring, 5 points, 3 goals, and he's leading the team in shot attempts. So, if you want to score goals, you got to shoot the puck, and this guy's been shooting the puck the most of anyone in that team right now. And then, of course, John Carlson for an anytime goal, plus 425. He's got 1 goal in the series already, and Washington's power play is at just about 30%. So, I like John Carlson as well, just based on the plus money there at 425.
If he hits it, it's nice money.
Yeah. All right, DFS picks. Sidney Crosby, for the reasons we mentioned earlier, $7,300. I'm going to spend up for him. 14.4 fantasy points per game. Joe Pavelski, again, 4 points in his last 3 games. And at $5,000, his salary is reasonable. John Carlson for the notes just mentioned there. And then Jake Ottinger, $7,600. He's actually averaging 25.28 fantasy points so far in this series. So I agree, Bruce, and I took Calgary because I think Calgary will take this game. But even in losses, Jake Ottinger has been a great play in DFS. And then the last one there, Carter Verhaeghe, we just talked about him. 13.7 points in this series. The stack I like tonight is Crosby, Guentzel, Rust, and Letang. Letang and Rust are actually reasonably priced. You're just going to have to spend up a little bit for Crosby and Guentzel. Bruce, take it away.
And then for me, very similar to yours, so I had Crosby and Guentzel at my center, my winger defenseman, Rasmus Andersson. He's had some success here lately versus Dallas in the series. Markstrom is goaltender because I'm hoping that Calgary can pull out the win tonight. And Carter Verhaeghe for what we had mentioned earlier about leading the Panthers in scoring. And then obviously my stack for tonight is Crosby and Guentzel.
The only thing I don't like about Carter Verhaeghe, he's not getting power play time, or he's getting time on power play too. But other than that, he's been very productive. So
very much so.
There you have it. Okay, that does it for another FHH Live. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at FH Hacks, on Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Hacks. Check out our podcast and all the major podcast directories. For more great hockey content, check out fantasyhockeyhacks.com. For all your fantasy hockey intelligence, check out Left Wing Lock. And for more hockey-related content, check out THPN. Lots of good stuff there. There's coverage for every team in the NHL, and then there's sports betting, there's fantasy from ourselves. There's lots of good stuff there, so check that out. And then, for our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks. We'll see you then.
All right. Take care, man.